Yeah, good day, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are watching from. It's your boy Fidelis Ozuawola, and today we'll be starting the niche blogging course. Please pardon me if you already know how to choose a domain name, how to get a domain name, and all about the basics. I really want to start from the basics because I'm actually trying to build profitable niche bloggers and in line bringing much people into the blogosphere. Okay, so this first video would encompass all about choosing a name. As I earlier said in my previous video, I like my tutorials really short, let's say 8 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, so you can better follow them a step at a time. Okay, so we'll start by choosing a name. A name in this case is called a domain name. Okay, it's called a domain name. So choosing a domain name. What is a domain name? A domain name is that name that you type on your browser and visit to actually get to someone's website. An example of a domain name is waploaded.com. It's a domain name. Okay, that's an example of a domain name. Okay, and now how do you get this domain name? What is the criteria for you to choose a domain name? You have to choose a domain name before you actually go on to get it. So I've listed some key factors that would guide you to choosing a domain name. There are lots of tutorial online. As I earlier said, my videos will just be straight to the point for us to get started actually. Okay, in choosing a domain name, you have to check the length. What is the length of this domain name? The shorter the better. Okay, that's one key point when choosing a domain name. Waploaded.com, you can see waploaded.com has 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 words in the domain name, 9 letters rather in the domain name. The shorter the better. Okay, the extension also matters. You can see the extension is .com. .com is one of the most popular extension in the world. We have other extensions like .com, .ng, .org, etc. Okay, I'll not bore you with that. The niche that we'll be going to doesn't really care or matter about the domain name or the extension, but it's good if you are building something that is sustainable, something you could share with your friends, something that later in the future people could look at it and say, yeah, this is a very good brand, something you can brand out. It's good you choose a very nice domain name. Okay, I'll show you in a jiffy how you could do that. So checking also the amount of words in the domain name is great. WAP loaded, you can see that we have just 2 words in this domain, WAP and loaded. Now that domains are really getting used up, you can see that people are crafting out different terms, acronyms and the rest to use inside a domain name. Okay, now speaking of amount of words and the SEO keywords that a domain name should have, that's if you are building a blog for SEO. Niche blogging Nigeria, you can see that this domain, if I'm to choose this as a domain, has 3 words in it. Back in those days, if you create a domain like this, niche blogging Nigeria, it tells search engine what this domain is all about already without looking for the content. And having such a domain like this, you can rank easily. That's why companies with .ng domain ranks better in Nigeria, because this extension lets search engine target Nigeria automatically. Okay, well, there are more advanced ways you can do targeting from search engine console, where you can target a particular geo and the rest for your website. We'll get into that much later. Okay, Also, while choosing a domain name, your domain name, it should be easy for you to remember it and for other people to remember it. And also checking if social channels are available. Before speaking of social channels, the shorter your domain name, the better for it to be used across various social channels, especially Twitter. Twitter doesn't accept a certain amount of text in a handle. Okay, the shorter the better for Twitter. So, making all these things really easy for you to choose a domain name, I usually advise using a name checker. There's a website I'll give to you now. It's namechecker.com without an E. There's no E here, without an E. The other alternative, you can just go to Google and search name checker. You see as much name checkers as possible. So name checker allows you search for a domain name and also check if these domains are available to be used, if these names rather are available to be used as handle in various social platforms. Okay, if you are not subscribed to this channel, please click on the red subscribe button around this YouTube video. If you are watching it from Facebook, kindly look for the YouTube page and join our YouTube channel so that you'll be notified when I drop a new video, or if you miss a video in the niche blogging Nigerian group, so that you can easily get it. And for those watching from a different channel like YouTube, you can find your way to our free public group, Niche Blogging Nigeria, on Facebook, where you can connect with over 2,000 bloggers who are ready to be profitable at blogging. Now, you head over to namechecker.com. Okay, I was already trying some things out. So we'll start with checking if Niche Blogging Nigeria is available. Okay, you search the brand name you want to build, and you type the brand name you want to build and click on search. You can vividly see that Niche Blogging Nigeria is available for a .com. It's available to be used on Facebook. You can manually check for Instagram by visiting instagram.com/the name. If it is not found, it means you can definitely get that name. Now you can see an error for Twitter. This error on Twitter is because I earlier said Twitter doesn't allow the use of certain number of text in their handle. So you just have to craft it. And the shorter your domain name is, the better. You can better work your way around your domain, knowing what you want to build, know the domain you want to choose, and the extension, and the shorter the better. Choose those keywords and search around those keywords to see a matching domain name. Okay, this video is about choosing a name. The niche that we'll be working with, in fact the various niche I'll be listing, doesn't really require you choosing a branded domain name. That's just the truth. It doesn't require you choosing a branded domain name. So you can choose any domain name you want, any extension you want. It would work well because we'll be using two traffic methods, which is paid traffic and SEO. But we'll start with paid. The SEO will come much later in the training. Okay. So with this said, you don't need to bother yourself about the domain name you are using, and you don't also need to bother about having various social handle, only except you want to build it out as a brand, as a long lasting brand that in the future you could even sell off or build other companies under it. So this will be the end of this video. In the next video, I'll be telling you about getting a domain name. So all our videos are going to be short for you to catch them as fast as possible, and for you to stay glued watching these videos.